Put me on. We're behind time, please. Full screen. All right. Just a minute. All right. Good evening, everyone. Are we here? Well, how's been our week? How's been the weekend? How's been the journey so far in product management? I would like to have your feedbacks before we move on into today's class. Thank you. Sorry, trying to get new glasses so I can see this thing better, but that's fine. Okay, I'm checking for our feedbacks. Let's take that. Last week I know we did a lot around product launch. What was our key takeaway and how we building up from there? By the way, I want to believe that many of us have been working on our products and we are using them because if you are learning without working with your product, you would be shortchanging yourself. You'll be shortchanging yourself a lot, and what you're learning will not really serve you as much as it should. Um, is that clear? So this week we will be moving more into the core of our work. In fact, I will say that this particular part of it is where you must have one of your deep roots as a product manager. It's where you must have your one of your deep roots as a product manager. As a product manager, this is part of what you have to be deep on. We have said you must have a wide range of skills as a product manager, right? But on this particular one, you have to be deep. Okay, I'm still waiting for before we launch into today. Let me see your product ideas so far, and how much have you been able to do about it? I can see that the class has dropped quite a lot. This is 45. We used to be about 140 something last time I was here. Yes, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Sorry, there's a lot of good evenings. I can't pick them one after the other, but of course I will. Good evening. Okay, let me just say how much I can grade anyways. Good evening, Joshua. Thank you, the one with us here. Yes. Good evening, Bukola. Good evening. Yeah. Control A. Good evening. So quickly, what's the product's idea like? Good evening, Bola. Good evening, additional. Someone there from Sierra Leone, and that's a lot. Good evening, Philly, if I got that right. Apologies if I did not. You would forgive me. So, in the next, because by 7:10 we'll launch heavily into this. So, in the next 4 minutes, I want you to type out your product idea and what you've been able to do about it. I mean, since we have gone, um, let's do that in some 3 minutes. I'll be on the group as usual. The first one I see is the one I'll use to teach the class, so that we can get it. Thank you. I'm waiting. Okay, I'm trying to look into the comment section so far. I've not seen a product idea. Does that mean we don't? I'm only seeing study power with nothing written about it. So let me look at parent power, which looks more like it. So parent power, healthy parenting app. It brings connection between busy parents and their children. Okay, I know about Rictan, Mr. Slim. Yeah, we discussed Rictan, but I think the clearest one I've seen so far is parent power. Healthy parenting app. It brings connection between busy parents and their children. So Abosede Majaro, could you say what you've done about this? I mean, the course of the class. I know you've learned about how to plan your value proposition when we check the three C's and all of that. I know you've learned your introduction to product management. I know you've learned about how to do a requirement document, the agile frameworks, and how to prioritize. I must have taught you Moscow and all of that. I know you also learned about product launch last week. So far, you should have been able to do something on your product. Like I always say, there are jobs out there, really. There are jobs out there, and you're going to get them after you do. But what do you want to be? Do you want a job or do you want to create jobs? So there are those that will get jobs, of course, but there are those that I believe will create the jobs. We also create more jobs, coupled with the one out there. There are a lot of jobs out there, I can say that emphatically. But many of us will also not treat this idea as trivial. Um, I can tell you that there's something I'm working on. Yeah, that the first place I thought of that idea was a product management class like this, And for many of you who think it takes all the years in your life, this class happened 2022. Yes, 2022, I believe. And this is 2025. 2021, 2022-ish. I'm not so sure, but I know it can never be it can never be less than 2021. I'm so sure of that because I know 2020 was Corona year, and I wouldn't have done that in Corona year. So it was just it was a product school I attended, and that one was quite idea centered, and we came out with an idea, and the idea I drew in that class, I'm telling you, is currently registered and is currently in the development phase. So like I said, and don't treat anything as trivial. So I don't like I said the last time, I will say it again. Nigerians treat education as makeup. They treat it as another gold chain on your neck. The truth is that head warmer, like it's another adornment. Oh, I've done my PhD, I've done MSc, I've learned product management. We don't treat education as a way to increase in intelligence, as a way to be more creative, as a way to be smarter, as a way to be better at what we do. We treat education as an add-on, and then when we are done, we now start looking for what to do. So see education as a means to be more creative, to build better. Do you understand? And that's the way those whites see. That's why you see many of them, in some cases in their school, they just drop out and go to pursue something because what they learn is creativity. Of course, Nigerians can argue that you speak better English, you write better English, but what do you have to show for it? Do you have productivity? So don't treat this training as just I'm doing product management. Do you understand? I want to earn certificate. I want to apply for a job. That is something. But much more, see this session as something that can expand your mind to build something. Like I said, if you start building, you realize that you'll be looking for this knowledge and you may not need to be scampering YouTube for different things like I'm doing now. Do you understand? Like I'm doing now. I'm having to watch different things on YouTube because I'm building now and I need all the knowledge I can get. Do you understand? So with many of you too, get into that active building. Don't wait for 4 years like I did. Don't waste all that time. Start now. You said you're working on home assist. You can start to think about it. Watch a lot how to build a startup, how to start building an app. Watch anything. Watch anything. And before you know it, by December end, you may be launching something. I think that is better. And that's why I said in our first class, I said product management is like the entrepreneurial arm of tech because you are created to think of the problem. And that's why we spend a lot of time on where we have done. My colleagues have taught you about how to launch, how to go to market. I know Bamila must have spent a lot of time showing you guys how to draw up your PRD because that's how you get your user stories. The actions your user want to take on the application, that's how you get to know it. So that's a very solid class. We give you what we gave 1 week to. Also, we talked about value proposition. Trust me, the developers are not learning. Nobody has taught them. Development class currently, nobody has taught them how to discover the problems in the market. Like we were showing you your three C's and all of that. The developers are not learning that. Please, if you can enlarge my picture a bit over the slides, thank you. Developers are not learning that, okay? They are not learning how to see the problem in the market. Nobody is teaching developers that. All right. Admin, expand my image more. Thank you. Over the slides. So developers are not learning how to think of the problem. People in data analysis, nobody is teaching them how to see the problem. People in what do we call it? Just a minute. Yeah, people are not. You are the only one. In some cases, the product designers, you are the only one being taught to see the problem. But the product designer is only going to see the problem when the customer brings it. So what they teach a product designer is, for instance, I want to build home assist. Now the product designer will now start researching within home assist applications, yeah, to find. Sorry, just give me a minute. Researching within home assist applications to find something that can work for your product, yeah, to find a way to bring out something to the market. That's where the designer does research. So the designer does research within already thought about problem. The designer is not doing the research on something that has not been thought about or that has not been processed. Do you understand? But the person that starts with trying to see the issues in the market, trying to see the problem, trying to get the consumer part, trying to think of a product idea at all is you, okay? And that is why I believe that you are the sets that can create jobs, and I mean it because you are being taught to see the problem. Somebody in your last set defined product management as the person that carries the user on his head. So you have a lot to. I think you can think of the problems and create solutions for them. I believe so, and that's why I'm wishing you take solid steps on your ideas. And we this is the only class when you'll be told to start with an idea. Okay, so don't joke with it. All right. So let's move on today. Let me see what I'll be working with today. Let me work with Parent Pals. Okay, Parent Pals Healthy Parenting app. Today we're starting with, and this week we'll learn about design thinking. That's what you learn under product management. You can put my slides up now. We'll learn about design thinking. One design thinking will take our next two classes. Then on Friday, you will see the use of AI in product design thinking. That will help you. And this week is going to be very, very revolutionary to your product management journey. I want you to do all you can to be available for all the sessions, okay? And be available early and get your minds active. Get your minds active. We have a long way to go. And I mean it when I say that. We have a long way to go. So let's get started. So I have a question. I'm going to be starting this class with a question. Please, my slides, please. Thank you. I'm going to be starting. Sorry, a minute. I'm waiting for the slides so that we can move on. I have a question I've posted here. Um, let's go together on it. So I said, okay, let me just help you. We're looking at product design and user experience. Now, you have thought about your problem, yeah? You want to go to the market. You have good. I will say the Majaro. You've been able to write your problem statement as well as your PRD. Please clap yourself. That's a very solid step you have made. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud. I'm very proud of that. I produce bell peppers, yellow, red. They are fresh, glassy, big, fresh, and neat, very attractive customers. They are produced with good quality and large quantity. So, Comrade Taiwo Oladipupo, now that you produce agricultural tools, now this class is technical product management. So, we're looking at how we can use tech to solve your problem. So the question is, how can you bring in tech to what you do? That's what you think about, okay? Not the pepper in itself, but don't leave the pepper. I'm not a part of those that teach that you should leave everything you're doing and go into tech now. What I teach you is how can you use tech to make better what you're doing. So you're doing all of this. So let's say you're doing agriculture. So how can you use tech? You may not be the one building it. You may have someone who is into tech, and you tell the person, okay, can we do something together for farmers, for agricultural produce? If they already exist, maybe you can partner with those ones, okay? But what we should be thinking of is how to use technology to enhance what we're already doing. Thank you. Okay, moving on. This week, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn the design thinking process. You're going to learn how to validate ideas with customer needs, how to conduct user interviews, empathy map, storyboarding, wireframing, create how to create your MVP, and how to collaborate with designers. While we are introducing the last set of this class, we did not introduce AI, but a lot of AIs have been out now. And as a product manager in industry today, you are expected to at least, if possible, create your MVP by yourself using AI, because there are a lot of AI solutions out there for you, and not even MVP. It may not even be usable, but something that can give your developers a better idea of your product, even without you coding and without you just writing. And we'll show you, we may not be able to show you completely, but we'll give you at least solid introduction into some of these tools, and then you'll be able to use them going forward. Is that okay? If you're with me, say let's go. Just type let's go in the comment section and we'll know we're together. Okay, I'm waiting for that. I like them to rush in now so that I can know we're good on the same page. All right, all right, all right. You can hear me clearly. Thank you, Dojo. Thank you, Bukola. Moving on, I have a question. Look at this question on your screen and let's start. MVP is your minimum viable product. Minimum viable product. That is the part of your product that is not all the product you wanted to build, but something that can show people that we are we are the your idea, something that can show people the least output of your idea. That's all. For instance, let's say you, how do I even put it now? Okay, let's say you want to make a car that has AC, has light, has radio, has everything. You may not have the ACs and radios yet, but at least you have created something that can move, that can drive. That's your minimum viable product. People will get your concept. If you now get sponsors, you can now start putting all the other big deals. So, okay. So for all of you that you have an idea, sorry, work towards building your MVP first. Work towards building your MVP. It's not everything. I don't know if you write books. You know what they call flash fiction. Prototype, yeah, it's close to a prototype. You get it's close to a prototype, but the prototype, it is bigger than a prototype, because most times the prototype is not really good fit to use. The prototype could just be the design, could just be the UI US, could just be the no code platforms, but the prototype, but the MVP will have been coded and will be live. People can download it anywhere. It's possible that people can download the prototype. Of course, in the concept of what prototype means, in the English sense of it, your MVP is the prototype, because the prototype should be able to do what everything is. It's like when you want to photocopy. The first one that is the prototype looks exactly like the photocopy. Okay, so on that note, you can call it a prototype. So I want to ask you a question, guys. Should product managers learn product design? Olayinka Carlton said, yes, product managers should learn product design since they wear many caps. Perfect. Olayinka Carlton, you are very right. Yes, they should learn. If I were teaching this class 2 years ago, I would have said they don't need to learn it. But right now, Omo, everywhere don't choke. They need to learn it. However, you may not want to put all your strength in learning this thing. Okay? Like I said, you have a lot to go. Some product managers don't want to be deep on product design. They want to be deep on data. Some want to be deep on coding. As an people who code. But I will advise, as a product manager, you should learn a lot about product design, because even if you may not be able to know much when developers are talking, you should be able to, at the design level, determine what a designer is doing, because it is that thing they have done that will be coded. So your knowledge of product design must be heavy. What we will teach you in this class is not as deep as what product designers will learn. For instance, this entire 3 weeks is what product designers are using to learn what they are doing. You are doing that in just 1 week. So you mean you have more to do yourself. And you can go online. It's not hard at all. Go online, go anywhere. You can just, even if you go on Udemy, if you pay 25K, 20K, you will see full product design courses. Please go and learn. Moving on, I said product managers may not need to become expert designers. The word is, you may not be an expert designer, but you must be a designer. But having the knowledge helps you in many ways. Like we always say, you can zoom your YouTube if you're not seeing me properly. Having the knowledge helps you in many ways. Number one, holistic understanding. Number two, enhanced user focus. Number three, better prototyping and testing. Four, leadership and vision, effective problem solving, improved communication, and streamlined decision making. If you don't know what to do, as a product manager, as you're thinking about your app, if you know design very well, you picture your app better. You can picture how you want your page to look like. Okay, they come in this way. Okay, I want, you can picture in your mind, and you can also guide the designer better. If you don't know too much, you're going to be at the mercy of your technical people. And that's why we're teaching you everything we're teaching you. So, but I just want to teach you how to use an application. I want you to have the thinking. As a product manager, you need to be a design thinker. Even if you're not an expert designer, you must be an expert design thinker. So let us learn design thinking. Is that okay? Let's learn design thinking today and tomorrow. It's a very long process. You can check it. It's a full course. If you go online, a design thinking is a design thinking are full courses people do, and it's not limited to design space. Even people who are in engineering, people who are in architecture, management, everybody learns design thinking because it helps you to think from the problem to solve it. Okay, let's move on. So design thinking gives impact on how to build insightful products. I want to tell you something. If you are a startup, if you have any product that you are building, like I'm saying, go and follow Airbnb. Airbnb, Apple is not the benchmark for the best product out there. Oh. It's not Apple, it's not Samsung. Airbnb is what everyone is looking at. Go and check their Instagram page, check their LinkedIn, check their Facebook, check their videos. Go on your YouTube, type Airbnb, how they built. Watch if you want to build something and you have not watched videos of Airbnb, you are joking. And I'm saying that because some of you think my product is tomato, my product is fashion. This is not a class for me. You need to go and watch Airbnb. Just go and watch Airbnb, how they revolutionized hospitality. This is not even about the building, hospitality. How they if many of you, good evening, goodness, if many of you know the media, the tech space very well, you will know about Airbnb and what they have done. And please, guys, go look out for Airbnb. Would so moving on. I said design thinking is a human-centered approach to solving complex problems and creating innovative products. That's according to Ideate. I would repeat, design thinking is a human-centered approach to solving complex problems and creating innovative solutions. So, if a problem is very complex and you want to solve it, listen, if a problem is very complex, even though your problem is, how will I do product management with tomato? That's a very complex problem. But the best way you can do it is what? Design thinking. So, as a product manager, embracing this mindset is crucial because it helps ensure that the product serves the real needs of the users while balancing it with the business objective. Okay? So, it's not for just for designers, it's for product managers. Use across your team to create a shared vision to encourage solutions at every stage of product development. I put a word there in a scripted font. It helps you to build user-centric products. See, one of the problems we have is that we are building products that users do not want. You may launch, you may do your opening launch. Everybody's if you see this guy he has built, he's a founder. You will go and print t-shirt, you will wear it, you wear face cap, everybody will clap for you. Do you understand? But last, your eyes will peel when you build products that users do not want. Yoruba will say, Oju ẹ máa bó. When you build a product that is not user-centric, your eyes will peel. If you like, sew t-shirts, wear vest everywhere, do Instagram, do 3 4 day 4, be going everywhere. After the people download it, they will be on it. The only thing is that our product metrics is very weak. So we even check the rate of download. People check downloads and they are very happy. They check our downloads. No, it's not about downloads. What about your stickiness? Stickiness, when something stick together, stick together. So the people stay on your app tomorrow. Were they on your app next tomorrow? What about next week? It's not about how they downloaded it today. Did they continue to use it? So don't just launch. Don't just say I want to introduce payments to UK. People you can now send money to Africa and Nigeria. Oga, I could send money 5 years ago. Oga, I could send money last week. So what did you build? It's true. What I built, you will send money to Africa. People have not been sending money. The problem is that most time people are in USA, they are in UK, they cannot send money to their citizens in Nigeria, to their friends in Nigeria, or people in Nigeria cannot send to UK. Okay, I was sending to those places to UK that time. Oh. But now we are trying to solve the problem now and create a new. Now we are launching this product to make people do payment. People you are launching it for already have close to 2 or 3 applications on their phone that is doing the payment and doing it cheaper. So what kind of user research did you do to arrive at this problem? So the problem is that many of us tend to build something that investors can put money into because maybe everybody's looking at fintech. But the mistake is that you're looking at foreign investors or whatever, and they will be solving the problems in their own environment. So are you building a solution for their environment or you're building a solution for yours? That is one. The question is, even if you now get the funding and then you now go ahead, it's not fund that will determine if your product is marketable. It's the market that will tell you. Moving on. So, according to Stanford School, design thinking has 5 processes, and that's what we are checking. We'll break each process is what will take us through today and tomorrow. So we have empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. Write that down. That's our journey throughout to this class. Empathize, the edict, empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. And that's what we're going to do throughout this week. Under empathize, to empathize is how you get to know your user's problem. We'll be seeing interviews, shadowing, and all of that. Under define, you're now trying to define the problem. You'll be talking about personas, role objectives, decisions, challenges, pain points. Ideate is when you are looking to how to now think of the idea and make it better. Prototyping is where you'll be doing a lot of mock-ups, storyboarding. That's where you get to Figma and all of that, trying to bring your idea out. Test. Testing is you are trying to see if your prototype solved the problem you saw when you were empathizing with your users. Does that make sense? Edipt, not edit, EDIPT, EDIPT, EDIPT. People don't they think of edit for yeah. That's okay. Moving on. So the 5 phases of design thinking process. Let's go. I'm trying to be quite fast because we have a long way to go. Hmm. Let me see. Let me see if I can finish edit before we go on a break. Edit is it. Empathy. Okay, define. Let me know. Let me go back to. Let me go back now and then let's start. Let's start with empathy. That's the first one. So we are on E now. It's an acronym. We'll be taking them one by one so that you can know design thinking. Let's start with empathy. What is empathy, everyone? What's empathy? The English word, not in product management. Basically, what's empathy? I'm waiting for feedbacks. Please let's be fast so that we can move on. Empathy, understanding users' pain points. That's I'm defining it according to product now. But basic English, what is empathy? Show concern. Thank you. I like that. Put yourself in another person's shoes. Perfect. Understand and shared feelings of another. Good. Sincere show of concern. Good. Putting yourself in someone else. So, oh yeah. So, as a product manager, what you want to do at this stage is to become the user. What you want to do at this stage is to what? Is to become the user. There's no other word for it. um, Give me a moment, please. So, what you want to do at this stage is to become the user. And I would now let's go. So there are four things you have to do: see their world, appreciate them as human beings, understand their feelings, communicate your understanding. Now, this is not just an emotional class. No, this is scientific. Now, the first step you must know is when you are interviewing. Now, I've gone back to how you create value proposition. Now, for you to be sure you're okay, these are 10 things you must put in mind for your interviews. Number one, prepare a clear objective before the interview. So, parents who the person of with the parenting application, please type your application name again. So I missed that out. So the first thing is to prepare a clear objective. What do I want to do? I want to find out about the problems users have with parenting. I'm waiting for that parenting application person. Please type very fast so we can fly. I want us to hold on. I'm trying to open my Figma as well. I'm waiting for you. Parenting application. The person dropped this on this call. Parent pass. Thank you. Parent pass. So parent pass now. You are trying to see if your product is there. Number one, what are your objectives? If you are going to do an interview for parent power, you want to get people's issues. What is the objective of your interview? Because from this class, I want you to go and do an interview after this class. So that's why I'm slowing down. So, what is your objective for doing an interview? I need two objectives fast in the comment section. We're all very brilliant. It's just that you may not have learned product management before. So you're only learning a new thing. It does not mean you don't know. So you know, you're just putting your brain into another use was not used to. You understand? I'm waiting. What are the objectives for you? I don't want to say them. So far in this class, you always answer your questions yourself. So I'm already used to that. So what are the objectives for parents power? If we don't think of it practically this way, you are just going to learn theory and run away. I don't want you to finish product management school and looks like you never learned product management. Somebody said to maximize my potentials. No, let's not be abstract about it. We are building parent power, okay? An application that solves parenting. Now you want to do an interview. I said number one, prepare a clear objective. So, what are the objectives for parent power? I know why you people are not talking. Let me do what I used to do so that you can talk. Okay. Let me do what I used to do. I know if I do it now, everybody will start talking. Okay. So let's start again today. Let's start again today. Let's work together. Yeah. Should we do that? We will do it. You cannot beat me. Thank God it's remotely. One fight may come. So parent power. The objective for your interview, not the objective for the product. God, I beg. Be like when I never attend class today. People need to wake up. Oh, yeah, yeah, wake up, wake up, wake up. You're welcome to class. Good evening. The time is 7:36. Now let's start. Is the objective of your interview, not the objective of your product. Parent power. I say you should be huge. People, they whine me. Okay. Hey, somebody say empower still. To build a user-friendly parenting companion app that helps busy parents manage routine. No, this is the objective of your application. That's the objective of your application, Abosede. The message to know the concerns of the parents. That's the first objective I'm going to write out. What's going on today? My village people don't want to make a type. Um, Parent power. Let me get straight. What's going on here? No, I don't go to rethink product now. We do rubbish. No, no, no. Sorry. Yes, I'm following you guys. So I'm following you guys. Just give me a moment. Let me set up our environment and then we're good to go. Okay, so I'm working with parent power today and I'm going to zoom it out for us to see. So, objectives of the interview. You can zoom your YouTube screen. I've only found one. Somebody said to understand, okay, to understand parents' pain points as regards parenting. Okay, let's get some more objectives. To assist parents monitor activities of their kids remotely. That's the objective of the app. Okay, to ascertain the problems people have in parenting. Now, why am I typing the two out? I will tell you. Okay, listen to me. I will tell you. People may be having problems. Okay, people may have problems, but that problem may not be a pain point. If you want to solve your product, your pain point to be part of your solving your pain point is part of your feature. Okay, but the problems also needs to be noted. Now, the last one. Thank you, Bola Tito. To understand children perspective. Let me stop on this three. Any other one could have been correct. I just want to pick three, please. Now, let's go to the next one. So these are the objectives now. I believe about said they should be taking notes seriously because everybody is building your product for you now. The screen is very dull today. I think you should increase your are you on 1080? If you're watching on 360, now 360 view you go get. So try and increase your resolution. I think it's about that. Yes. Second one, we said choose participants who represent your target users. So who are your participants? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Don't sleep on me. Second, we said choose participants. Who are your participants on these apps? I'm waiting. Oh, somebody said mothers. Wow, that's nice. So fathers are pencils, Abi. Participants. Somebody said parents. Let me shock you. You'll be shocked at those I will get. Somebody said parents. Yeah. Guardians. Um, teachers. I'll even put pastors or religious leaders. etc. Now, are we making sense? Now, can you see we are not talking application yet? In fact, every adult, that's right. Whoever said every adult, God bless you. This is design thinking. You are not even looking at your application yet. You see the way we're going. Now, next step, create an interview guide with open-ended questions. Now, this is going to be because in under this design thinking, you're going to do physical interviews here. Abosede. You're doing physical interviews. So you're going to create an interview guide. And what you do with interview guide? You create open-ended questions that you will ask them. It's not the same as user research you did earlier on that you did inside Google Form and all of that. That one is different. And I hope you have done that. This is more one-on-one because you want to talk to them. You want to hear things they will not say. Now, okay, guys, next one. Let me get interview questions. Interview questions. Let's go. I need about 5 questions. You are a product manager. You are going to be talking to these parents one-on-one to find out their problem. I need 5 questions you will ask from them. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. It will soon be 8, oh, they will soon blow rapture if we not do fast. Somebody say how, why, what problem. That's very good, but I need clear questions. Clear questions, clear questions. How old are your kids? You know that's very personal, right? Number one, you need to go and read about research etiquettes. You must not ask close-ended questions. Okay? You just want to know their problem, not the age of their children. What are the challenges you face with your kids? That may be okay, but you may not get conversations that way. Now, this I don't want us to waste time on it. Okay, take time to read on how to bring up questions, how to interview. You might want to ask, um, do you understand? If there's ever been a time you wished, if there is something you wish your kids learned from you, what was that thing? Do you understand? And in what situations have they been that made you feel like they need to learn that thing? Do you understand? Have your kids ever been rude to you? Why? What do you think you want them to do differently? Exactly. So what do you expect? We'll do all of that here. We'll wait till rapture. So let me not waste time on that. One more questions and you go. How do you talk to your kids and how do you listen? This is a very good question. Thank you, David Olariwaju. How do you talk to your kids and how do you listen? So we are on this. Let's stop here. I'm just taking the step by step. Now, all of these other parts, I may not be able to write them down anymore. Number 4 says build rapport by starting with easy questions. Like that person that went and said, how old are your children now? God bless you. I want to know who will answer the next question. Because somebody approached me and said, how old are your children? Do you want to kidnap them? So build rapport first by starting with easy, friendly questions. This is not me typing. Oh, I got these things from active design thinking schools. Do you understand? So if this is not we just typing, this is established theoretical knowledge. So start your journey by building rapport. You will still get to know the age of their kids, but that will be later. Maybe as the person is talking, and one of my daughters, in fact, she always comes home late. I don't even know. Oh, but is she still young? She's not young. Oh, I'm sorry. Is she old enough? No, she's not old enough. Oh, this girl, you won't believe she's just 8 years old, and she will never come home early. You've got to know the age. So the act of conversation and communication is what you must learn as a product manager because you will do it a lot. Before I even started this this particular episode of DSA, I had to take time on some communication online again. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So the art of communication is a skill. Great thinkers will tell you that most people are failing because they have not learned how to communicate. So you will fail if you are communicating wrongly. Oh. Somebody say want to work to parent and ask how's the age of your children. You won't get anything from that. So build rapport. That's number 4. Number 5, ask open-ended questions. Don't close it. Ma, do you think your children are very rude? That's open-ended. I mean, that's close-ended. You want to get yes or no. Open-ended, so that there can be conversations. Good afternoon, man. What do you think about children of nowadays? Do you think parents are not doing well, or the children are just really out of hand? Or do you think, or maybe society has even done too much in training? For instance, when we were young, maybe if you had 5 hours to talk to your kids in a day, that's the only thing they get. So you can rest assured that what you thought your children is what they're living by. No social media, no TikTok. I'm talking 20 years ago. But now, even if you teach your child respect elders this morning and you went to work, before you came back from work, your child would have watched close to 50 videos on TikTok that would have said don't respect elders or in any way. So you talked once, but there's another 100 voices that say don't respect. How big do you think your voice is? So those are the conversations. So how does this affect your children? And what do you think you can do? Oh, okay, okay. If there is a way we can help you, if there's an application, but what do you want to do? In fact, I need the application to have logins to other social media. I need me to be able to, anytime they're watching something on TikTok, I need the application to be able to give you notification. Your daughter is following this person on TikTok. Hey, who is this person they are following? So you too can follow that person. So maybe you want to be doing your own social media monitoring. God bless you at that. But all I'm just trying to let you know, the person building parent power, what is that going with gift for your children though? Until they say you have a list, I'm not there. Oh. But you can see that what you want to build is not beings. You want to solve a big problem because parenting is huge. So you want to be asking detailed questions. Okay, schooling. Okay, is it that do you want the application to do review around many things, maybe around schools, around churches, so that if you say you want to pick this school, you can easily see what a lot of parents are saying about this school, or you can make notification. I want to take my child to Orioke Grammar School. What do you think? There may be 100 parents can give notifications and give reasons. Ah, I was there. Blah blah. Don't do this. Don't do that. So maybe you want to create a forum like a Naira Land sort of forum on that application too, for opinions on decisions you want to make on your children. Do you understand? So you have um I keep missing the name of this person on this application. Abosede, you have a lot of work to do, and I think you can do it. But you cannot start this way. Now, what don't forget what I'm saying, I'm just talking. Don't think you have your features yet. Do this thing, write your questions, go and talk. You can just pick 10 parents, don't do too much. 10 parents are good for you. Pick some from your church, some from your street, so that I can spread out. If you know one or two abroad, add them to it. Beg them for maybe 2 hours or 1 or 30 minutes. Sorry, too much. Just make calls with them, talk to them, make notes per each parent. Don't just say all the parents said kids are fine and that's all the notes you make. Make notes per each parent, write in details. What you're doing is understanding the problem. Good. Five, ask open-ended questions. Six says listen actively. Listen actively, and I will tell you why later. Seven says avoid leading questions to ensure unbiased feedback. Don't ask leading questions. Do you think TikTok is terrible for children? That's leading. You're already getting them to say it's terrible. Do you think I think husbands are very bad at taking care of children. What do you think? Blah blah blah. Be very open-ended. There's a lot. If you research research thinking is very heavy. If you I remember when I was still in my postgraduate class, design research thinking, research methodology, research thinking was a full course, 3 units, and a lot of people failed. So research thinking is heavy. Don't joke with it. Take notes and record. As you're talking with them, you can take permission to be able to record or take notes. If they say you cannot record, if you record, if you go to prison, so maybe when we do DSA prison edition, we'll take you there. But take notes and record. Again, follow up for clarity. If the responses are unclear, follow up again. Respect their time and privacy. So these are the useful interview tips for you to make your one-on-one interviews with your users. Now you have a problem you want to solve. Now you've seen it's a general problem for your user research. Your user research may be maybe 100 people fill the form. Now you have your feedback. But now you want to go deeper. You have done your persona. You have seen the kind of people you're going to. Now you're going deeper into them. Moving on. Now, you want to get 5 why. There's something they call 5 why in Product Manager. Let me do something for you. Let me delete what I have here so that we can do it together practically. But let me explain this first before I do that. The next step to understanding problem is called root cause analysis, RCA. Root cause analysis is a simple analysis in product management that helps you understand where the problem came from. And how they used to solve it is the concept of 5 why. 5 whys means you're going to ask whys 5 times. It's believed that any problem you see, you need to ask why 5 times for you to get to what the actual problem is. Okay? And we're going to do practical on it on different issues before we go on break. Before we do that practical, let me show you what I did here. There was a plane crash. That's the initial thing. Okay? There was a plane crash. So they say, why did the plane crash? The first answer is because the pilot was sleeping. Now, if I want to solve the problem of plane crash, if I stopped at number one, I could have said all sleeping pilots will be sacked. No pilot must sleep at work. I can bring a new law. Every pilot that sleep is in trouble. Yes, research methodology. God bless you, Timothy. Now, I thought I had solved the problem. Maybe if I was a manager, all pilots that will sleep at work will be sacked, will reduce their payment. And somebody would think, yes, he's solving it. But meanwhile, I asked only one why. So root cause analysis is telling me that because I asked just one why, I have not gotten to the root of the problem. Okay? So now I must proceed to ask the second why. So the first one is, why did the plane crash? Because the pilot was asleep. Guys, are you with me on these five whys? The second question now will be, why did the pilot sleep off? Can you see? I'm going deeper. Yes, Mom Test is a good book about it. You can read Mom Test. Mom Test is a good book. The second one is, why did the pilot sleep off? Now I'm going deeper. I got my answer. Because the pilot was tired. Now, I can also say all tired pilots, you are in trouble, but that's not enough. The question is, why was the pilot tired? I'm on my third why. I got my answer. Because he has been working back to back. Now, okay, another one, the fourth one. Why is he working back to back? Because the company is short staffed. Can you see? Now, the last why. Why is the company short staffed? It cannot be hiring problem. Maybe because there are no expert pilots. We can say because the HR is not hiring, because the manager does not want to play. Now, I can now call management meeting. Okay, HR, why are you not hiring more pilots? There is no money. Even if there is no money, our business is on aeroplane. Pilots are very important. So what have we been using money for? We have about 15 directors collecting 20 million naira. We have to let some directors go. So it was a plane that crashed. If I stopped at the first why, I could have sacked pilot. But because of my last why, I'm cutting down directors so that I can have money to hire more pilots. Or if I have to say, okay, you know what, since we don't have more pilots, let's reduce our routes. But I can't reduce routes, I will not make money. So we'll now look at where to cut waste so that we can hire more pilots and then can put them on shift. So scientists believe that you need to ask your five whys to solve a problem. So in 5 minutes, let's pick a problem and solve it. We're using five why. Because as you are conversing with parents, yeah, as you're converting with parents, um, let's start. Let's say the first issue is that um, my kids are rude. That's the problem. The question is, oh yeah, let's go. Why are they rude? My kids are rude. What do you think the answer is? My kids are rude. The initial problem is my kids are rude. Let's deal with that, okay? My kids are rude. Now let's solve that problem. Why are they rude? We have 5 minutes. Let's move fast. Let's move fast. Let's move fast. People should not shame me. Oh, the whole world is watching us. So why are they rude? Okay, we have answered that. Let's go now. We have said why are they rude. Do we have any answers? Let me see the first answer. Let me see the first answer. Because the father, somebody said because the father is rude. Away. Ah, now wow. Ty Nancy, I no agree. That will affect our five why. Because they are over familiar with me. Hmm. Okay, you know what? Let me work by my rule. I said I will always work with the first answer I get. So let's move on with all of us. We have to follow Taye's thought line. Okay, it's just to know how to use the rule. It doesn't mean and that's the truth. But because their father is rude, let's just use that. Because their father, we have 4 minutes to go on a 5 minutes break. So why is the father rude? Oh yeah. Move on. That's your husband here. Oh. Okay, so that means because their father is rude to you, so they are also rude to you. Good. So let's move there. So why is the father rude? Why is the father, which is your husband now, why is he rude to you? Let's move. Why is the father now? Your question must be solid because the ones you answered the last time will be guiding your answer as you go. So it's not just something you just write from your head. You must think about it. So why is their father rude to you? Why is the father rude? I want the answer. The father is rude because of his upbringing. Are you sure? Is it just his upbringing? Well, we have said it's the first thing we will pick. So you know coming. Somebody said because it's from Ekiti. Even if that's the first thing, I'm not going to pick it. Never. I'm from Ekiti. Which kind I know the sort person is the sort of anyhow. Okay, they were oh, we have time. Peer influence. Uh why are they because they are keeping why is the father rude, Jerry? We met in a rude place. And that's what you meant. Because they are no no no. Because he's a drunkard. That's the first answer. I'll pick that. Because he is a drunkard. So why is he a drunkard? Fast, faster, fast. Why is he a drunkard? Let's go. We're almost there. Why is he a drunkard? Why is he a drunkard? Now don't go yab men. Everything you want to say to men, you have typed it here. Jesus Christ. He's having a hard time. Okay, he's always stressed, he's jobless, he's tired. I think so. Everything boils down to unemployment. Also, we can say stressed because he is emotionally unstable. You know, it summarized everything, stress and all of that. So why is he emotionally unstable? Let me just put why because of time, because I need you guys to go and break in the next 1 minute, and then we'll come back. So why? What's the last why? Because the last why, see, let me tell you how you know if your five whys were correct. If you get to the last why, and you know that, and the solution to the last why, if you are sure that the solution to the last why will solve your first problem, then you are right. But if you know that the solution to your last why may not already solve your problem, you may have been wrong. Because are you saying that if your husband gets a new job now, because somebody said, so we can say he doesn't have a job. So are you saying that if your husband gets a new job now, he will suddenly start respecting you and then your children will start behaving well? Okay. Do you understand? If you think this solves your problem, that's no problem. We'll meet after the break. Go for your break now and let's be back in 5 minutes. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, we're back. All right. Thank you. I want to believe we're all done with our attendance and we're back to class. So, like I said, uh, it doesn't have a job is where we stopped. Now you're going to ask yourself this question. You're going to ask yourself this question. If you provide job, if your husband gets a job, will your kids stop being rude? Okay? Because the question is, even if your husband does not have a job, do you understand? He should not be rude to you. And it should not be rude to you. It should not be rude to you at all, let alone before your children. Do you understand that? So the question is, you must ask yourself the truth. Will solving this problem solve the issue? So if I were you, I would have said my because the kids are rude. Why? Because I can't discipline them as I want. Why can't you discipline them? Because they learned from their father. And for me to discipline them, I have to discipline my husband. Why can't I? Why did they learn bad things from their husband? Because he showed them bad example. Okay. Why did he show them bad example? Because he does not have a good mentor as regards being a father and a husband. That's simple. So if I can solve that problem of getting him a mentor as regards fatherhood or being a husband, then we know that he'll become a good father and a better husband. And he can now teach his children better. And we can both have an equal voice on teaching children, and they'll be better kids. They'll probably stop being rude. And even at that, because he's treating his family better, we of course get a job. Do you understand? It must be limited to 5 whys. So, auntie, if you are going too far, you're going to mess it up. All right, Bright. Um, So yes, it's 5 whys. Just leave it at 5 whys. It's established. If you get to five and you have not seen your problem, your process was wrong. You can see the five I used. It gave us something reasonable. The five you guys used will not solve the problem. But the five I used was a bit too far. That means if we can, I stopped at where you need to just get him a mentor. If you get him the right mentor, or you just talk to him about it, or something, a friend, someone that can change his thinking as regards fatherhood and being a husband, he's going to he's going to change that issue. The children will stop being rude immediately because number one, the children will realize that the father stopped being rude to you, and then whenever they go to rude to you, the father corrects them, you correct them. In fact, it's going to end in a week. A week is even too much. Moving on. Sorry, I used to wait for everyone, but if I wait, we have five to go in 2 days, and we are still on empathy. So sorry, guys, I gotta move. Assume. Um. So let's move on. Let's move on. So before we move on, really, let's deal with this parenting application. Let's have a 5 why for parenting application. Is that okay? Can we go together? I need the name of the application again. Let's find the first problem. So let's assume you have spoken to the first parent. Should I give a minute? Many of us are not still in class yet. Okay, they say let's go then. Sorry. Give me has spoken, so let's go. Um, Parent power. So let's see the first question. What do you think is the first issue you may find talking to parents? The first one was more of kids being rude. I want us to go deeper into something that we can be rest. We can it's something we can rest assured that we've seen an issue that I can solve. Can we go? I think the first thing they will say, confidentiality. That's beautiful. Let's see. Okay, so let's go to my confidentiality could be that let's start with is it my kids don't Oh, okay, sorry, let me allow you to speak. Sorry, when you say confidentiality, Chijoke, what do you mean? What came to mind? I would like to see your mind before I go on to interpret what you were not trying to say. So, what do you mean by confidentiality? What does that speak to you? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I already got the parent power. Oh, yeah, I'm listening. Confidentiality, kids and their phones, right? So they hold on to their phones too much. Is that what you're trying to say, Chijoke? Okay, not opening up with family affairs. So let me get, is it the parents not opening up to you or the children not opening up to their parents? I want to be sure if that's in our context. Kids feel judged, but okay, I think you are talking to parents not opening up. No, that's not the kind of stuff we're saying. That's interview. The way you ask your interview will solve that issue. I'm talking of the one issue that parents, one problem parents raised with you that you can ask five whys, and you know that your last why is something you can work with. So let me pick another one upstairs. Kids and their phones. Okay, no, that's not after confidentiality. It says kids don't sleep early. Okay, no. So yes, okay. The parents open up to the interviewer. That does not need five whys. That will be solved with the interviewer. Okay, if the interviewer follows those rules we said earlier on, it will solve it. So let me move on to the second one after that, which is kids don't sleep early. That's by Mr. Slim. I like to just follow that my law so that so Mr. Slim says kids don't sleep early. And this is the truth. You can be talking to parents, and this is the first issue they raise with you. See, don't forget that we say empathy mapping. You are looking for problem to solve. Guys, don't worry. Virtual assistant Bawo. This product management too. We have already picked the problem, so we can stop with the problems for now. Let's stay on this together. Everybody, stay on the one I've written together. Let's leave other problems for now. Good. Now, of course, when you were coming to the parent, this may not be what you're expecting to see. But that's why user is good to, that's why we're doing empathy mapping. Your user has told you this is my problem. So if you can have an application with a feature that can solve this, then you already have a download. Guys, we already have a question we have taken. Let's just stay on this for the sake of the class, okay? Ceteris paribus. Let's hold every other thing constant for now so that we can focus. So, kids don't sleep early. The question is, why don't they sleep early? Hey, I beg you guys are not with me. You're answering your own, oh. Because I can't see any response that is answering to why kids don't sleep early. Okay, Bright, thank you. Because they watch cartoons too much into late hours. Okay, that's a good one. Don't forget my rule. If you get to your last why and it doesn't answer it, why do they watch cartoons too much? Let's start with the first one. Kids don't sleep early. Why don't they sleep early? Okay, we've okay. So why do they watch cartoons too much? Okay. No, there was somebody already said cartoon. Okay, well, instead of saying cartoons, it's true. Let's just say too much screen time. That's more holistic. Um, yes, staying too long on their screens. That's more holistic. So why? Why do they stay too long on screens? Why? I'm not around to monitor them. That's the okay. Okay, so lack of parental monitoring. We are getting there. Can you see? I think we are getting there here. Lack of parental monitoring. Why do we have why do they sorry, I'm doing rubbish. Why do they stay too long on their script? Lack of parental monitoring. So why is there lack of parental monitoring? We're on the third why now. Because that's the only phone. No, 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 no. Because I'm busy working. Abosede, that's very perfect. Ah, you guys are shallow. Because I am busy working. Let's be thinking deep. Oh. Now, why are you busy working? That's the next. We are on the fourth why. Why is the parent busy working into late hours? True. Okay, because the parent come home late. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, to meet up, to meet. Okay, lot of bills to pay. Okay, good. I like this is a very good 5 why. Hmm. Lot of bills to pay. So why are there a lot of bills to pay? Let's see. This is the last why. And let's trace it back. Why are there plenty bills? This one, I may not pick the first reason. I want to look for a reason that is deep. Okay? Because I need to make money. Good. Inflation and economic crisis. Let's just put it at high cost. Let's put a high cost of running the home. Is that okay? I've summarized all of what you said. High cost of running the home. So, what can we do to solve the problem? Let's go together, guys. Let's put it high now so that all of us can see it. So, guys, let's stop. Let's stop. Now, let's solve this problem. We want to use parent power to solve this problem. We want to use parent power to solve this problem. It doesn't matter, single mom, double mom, it has solved it, high cost of running the home. So let's say at least you have 2 children, they attend very expensive schools, you have a car you're managing, you're only a 3 bedroom flat, so you have to work late and all of that. So how does parent power solve this problem? Now let's get to work. You cannot afford to stop working because you work late. You are busy, that's why you cannot monitor them. So what can you do? What can you do? Guys, because you're a program manager, now here your work be, you have to think. Your work is thinking. Now, how do you solve this problem? Somebody said parental control. Is that enough? You want to solve this problem with, hey, God, I beg, parent power. Is it parent power? I'm so sorry for forgetting the name of this application. That's not my practice. Please tell me for the last time. It won't go off my, I hope it's parent power. If it's not, my bad. Yes, we have answered all of these things. Let's leave the problem. I don't want to see anything on why again. We have discovered why. Now, parent power. Okay, okay. I don't forget that. Thank God. Now we need to find a solution that can become something on parent power. Ogative Wede, I think you're using Glow. We are past that particular thing you're answering to. So what can you do? Prioritization. Hmm. Don't forget it's an application you are building. You are not trying to be a mentor to parents. You're trying to be you're trying to build an application. Okay, so you need to control their screen time. Good. So you are not trying to tell her that, see, like I said something in first class, don't forget, getting remote work is an advice. It's not a solution that your application can give. Do you understand? And if you want to go ahead to start creating features for job application on your app, you are diverting too much. Thank you, Dotun Awojobi. Guys, don't forget that you're a product manager on your products. You are not the governor of Nigeria. You are not president. Don't try to say get remote work. Have you even found remote work before you find for someone else? Don't try to say and reduce the cost of running the home. They no send you work. Oh. And you want to tell them to change the school of their children. You cannot address standard of living. That's not your job. You want to build an application. You want to tell them to stop eating meat and go and buy pomo. That's not your business. You are looking into what they have not. In fact, some people will start running away from you at that. So, because I want us to be deep, and so I'm not really training you just for a job alone. I'm training you so that you can build a product that can really sell. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So let's think of these things. You want to solve. Let me see. I'm saying things. So, about that, they hope you are right. They don't put limit. Reduce data accessibility. Good. That's something you can work on. Time schedule for screen time. That's something. Monitoring. Maybe your app has a way of connecting to CCTV, whichever way. Like I said, your product doesn't have to be software alone. You may need to have hardware involved. Maybe Internet of Things. Maybe you have to have locks around sitting room. Maybe there's an announcement. Domestic staff is not your application. Do you have an application that will help them get domestic staff? If you're having that, that's fine. Device control. Maybe your application will have something installed in the home that they will put click on. Maybe at a certain time, TV just shut down by 7. There's nothing you are doing. All devices will shut down by 7 that belongs to children. Your application may have that. See, it may be hard to solve the problem, but you see, your job as a product manager is to take on the hard work so that your users can do the easy one. If you have an application that can do that, the entire Lagos will be buying it, not even CCTV. But don't worry, I have this application that if you install it, it will also connect to your TV, connect to everything. That's the problem, that's your solution. The kind of companies you will talk to, don't forget your SWOT analysis. The partnerships you will have to be able to build it, that's your own problem. Some people build POS now, right? And it's now a POS. What if they were thinking of using only application to solve it? But the thought of, okay, how can we take this thing to the market that market woman can pay with just card? And they build POS. So don't let your product management stop at Play Store and App Store. If some things are to get physical, so be it. So long as it's still technology. In fact, that's what makes you get funding because they know that you are thinking beyond the regular. You're not trying to do something easy. So if there's a device at home that connects that they can even install, but if you have to work with a door company, maybe they create a kind of doors that sitting room doors will lock at this also time. You can't even go there. Do you understand? And before it locks, maybe 3 minutes before it locks, it turns off all the lights and your light will only be in the room. So you have to leave in 3 minutes and they start announcing with a countdown. Auto Wi-Fi control. Now you say you want to build parenting app. Oh, do you think it's just add parents? Welcome to my group of parents. No, it's a lot of work. See, these are the kind of thinking that AI cannot take. Ah, who said bad upbringing? I'm trying to know where you are coming from. Oh. Welcome to the future. Hello, Ejiro. I'm trying to know where you came from. Welcome to 2025. Good evening. How are you? Yeah, we've left that part since so like 4 years ago. That bad upbringing you just mentioned. Um, so somebody said grandmother, your app is not grandmother. Oh. Did you get what I'm trying to bring to you guys? Of course, you may have seen problems. Don't get all Nigerian about it. Don't get all Nigerian about it. Well, oh yeah, I want to do everything. I want to advise you, ma. Please cut down your jobs, resign. No, don't do that. That's not your job. Your job is to listen very well. You now go home and think, okay, in all of this problem, by how can I solve it? Somebody said getting them game like Scrabble. You still don't get it. You are not a game company. You're building parent power. A technical solution to help parents manage their kids. So is it Scrabble you want to bring? You tell investors I want to buy Scrabble for parents, a monopoly. Do you get me? So think within your product. That's why I'm saying 5 whys is not that simple. Think within your product. So if you want to buy Scrabble, is that what your application will do about it? Would you like if your part of the solution is that you're buying Scrabble for parents? creating a decision through the app. Exactly. In fact, you need a lot of parental control. And you cannot do parental control well these days without Internet of Things. There have to be something in the house that can control things. Of course, camera, maybe it can connect to any CCTV app, it can connect to any phones. You have a lot of work to do. Don't think it cannot be done. Yours is that you know that this is what you want. Start talking to people. If you talk to three, four, five developers, if you do your research, listen, you will find someone. Ejiro, this is serious. Oh. He's drunkard, he's jobless. Wow. That's fine. Maybe you need to you know what, click on live, Ejiro. Let me help you. Tap on your YouTube and click on live so that you can get to the current state. Sadly, you won't be able to see what I'm even saying until you get to this part. Somebody needs to type on the chat box and tell her to click on live. She needs to click on live to get to the current part. Sadly, she may not even hear you. Okay, let's move on. But you, Abosede, have you gotten some features now? I need your feedback before I move on. Abosede, have you gotten some things? Yes, Chijoke, she can't hear me actually. I know that. Sadly. Abosede, yes, you're getting the idea of what you want to build. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. See, when we get into behavioral solutions, now then we know say work day product management because you have to think heavily. Now, what are the features they need to have? They will log in, of course, maybe a bit of social media, of course, different kind of alerts. Your notification might be plenty. Do you understand? Maybe they have not slept, notification. The people that are working on social media, notification. You must be able to connect across all social media platforms. If they are on YouTube Kids, make sure they don't switch it to go to YouTube Adults. So all those crazy notifications, it may look hard. How will I get notification when they get on TikTok? Talk to people first. You see, one thing you cannot do to yourself as a product manager is that it cannot be done. Your job is to think. A developer is somewhere not knowing this problem exists, not thinking any solution towards it. But you have thought it. You can talk to them. You can say, it's easy now. In fact, you might be shocked it's easy. There's this particular tool. If you collect their API and you add it, you will get notification across the social media. In fact, there are applications that are out there that if you get DM on all applications, it will show you. I've seen a social media application like that. There's a customer service application built for banks that all those things that you see that you message Glow on MTN, you message them on Twitter, on Facebook, on everything, and they're answering you. They are not answering you on Twitter. Most times it's one particular application they are on, and they're answering all of you on. You can Google Ibanco, EBANQO. They have a customer service application that solves all of that. Won't parents be tired of the app if they're getting a lot of notification on their phone? Well, it's not about lots. Like I said, it won't be every notification that matters. The ones that are key. Maybe by 7 p.m. it's for them to be in their room. 7 p.m. they are not yet in their room. You can trigger that thing and it starts going off. Let's move on, guys. Whew. Let's move on. This is C5Y. Now, when you have done this part, you now move to something called empathy mapping. When you are listening to your users, this is what you will do. Let's move on. We have left 5Y. We are going to empathy mapping now. There is a particular tool that can help you to do empathy mapping easily. Okay? Miro. Let me show you Miro. You go online and just search for Miro. This is Miro. Okay? This is Miro. I have an account already, trust me. So this is the tool. This tool is also good apart from Figma. You must learn to use this tool. I have an account, so let me just log in. So what you use is Miro. If you see you don't need an application, or you can use PayPal. The only thing with you can use PayPal, like I said, don't be an application junkie. Go fast into your solution. There are many applications you will still learn anyways, but what you're trying to do with empathy mapping is that you want to get what your user says. What did Bright ask? I can't find the question. Okay. Must your product be the solution to your last why or any of the why? Yes, it doesn't have to be the last why. No. But You are looking at the part of the whys that your concept can solve. For example, now the last why, if you have something to solve, if you want your app to start solving the issue of them not having a job or having to go to work every day, you can solve it. But you may not be able to solve it. And I will explain. For instance, I know a family that works heavily on the island. The husband is a surgeon, the wife is the HR of a multinational. I won't mention that company because if I do, you can easily know the person, and that's too much information. Is a multinational, that's where the wife works. So, Ejiro, God help you. So, the wife works in a multinational as the group HR across the world, I think across Africa. The husband works, not KPMG, don't worry, but it's not KPMG, it's the telecoms. The husband works as a surgeon. Now, I want to ask, what kind of job do you want to find for them remotely? UI, UX, or product management? You don't want to know how much these executives collect in Lagos, so no go wine am. People that their salaries can be up to 50 million every month. Do you think they're willing to live their life? Do you think they're willing to let go of their job because they want to stay at home more? Do you think they care? So you're not trying to be a product manager that wants to be advising. No, you are proposing a solution that they can take, not the one they cannot take. And that's why you're doing empathy mapping. Listen to what they say, what they think, what they do, what they feel. Listen to their goals. He said they can work remotely. I don't want. You want to tell a surgeon that you should work remotely because of children? Oh God, don't waste your time too much. Yeah, let's just stay on what you can control. You must know that, like I said, I said in the last time I was here, I said, don't seek to solve every problem. You cannot solve every problem. You can almost not solve it. So stay within the ones that you can solve. So look at what your users say, look at what they think, right? Look at what they do, look at what they feel. As you are talking to them, you are getting those vibes. Now, the only thing that you will be able to hear clearly is what they say. But what they think, what they do, what they feel, you will get it from talking to them physically. That's why you cannot use application for this thing. That's why you cannot use Google Form. This has to be a one-on-one. You are checking their thinking, you are checking what they feel. From there, you will have known that this person does not even want to work remotely. If the person wants to work remotely, you would have heard it. Assuming you know for this job, I wish I had another job that can make me stay at home. I would have been okay. Then, if you interview 10 people and 10 of them talked about they wish they can have another job that can make them work remotely, then you don't have a choice. You may have to put something on your product that has to do with helping them to get remote jobs. Maybe you have to solve that solution because from your user, you can see that this is a problem. So if parents know that while I'm doing this, I can also get notification of jobs that I can apply for on this application and easily apply, blah, blah, blah. That's also a solution. Like I said, you don't go into this place with a crammed feature in your mind. It's what the users are giving back to you that becomes your features. What I'm just saying is I doubt if one of their features if they want to resign because anybody that is busy working so much, I don't have time for their family, they don't even want to resign. They mostly enjoy that environment. Okay, moving on. So what they say we have their direct quotes. What they think is there are things they will not want to explicitly say, but you can deduce it. Okay, a lot of other things, and all of these things will affect how you build. Do you understand? How they navigate your I said, am I stupid for not being able to navigate this platform? Because sometimes, and I will explain why I'm saying that. Because you will never leave a process in design thinking. When you have launched your app and people are using it, you still go back to those people, give them to use, let them see, and you are checking their pulse. If you feel like they can't really navigate the app, they're feeling stupid for it, go back there. But I don't want to jump that gun for now. So look at what they do, the action they are taking in your application. That's when your application launches. But even before then, look at what they do too. This now is in terms of lifestyle. When we get to prototyping, you are looking at what they do when you show them your application. Which part are they going to? Miro, you can check Miro. Like we'll get there. But Miro is an application that almost all product management use. Why? Because it has ready templates. It has a lot of templates. Let me show you something. For instance, this is Miro now. Okay, this is Miro. I've used it before for roadmap, but let me go to explore. If you explore, you will see a lot of things they have. A lot of things they have. Can you see all of these things? A lot of things. For product management, you can just explore it. I really do not have all the time to teach you how to use Miro. These things are very user friendly. Don't be scared of them. They are very user friendly. So if I type empathy mapping in the search box now, they have a lot of. If I type empathy mapping, I should find some. Let me search. Not owned by me. Okay, not even here. So let me just go back and check into home. Just a minute. Flow chart. Let me come to explore templates. If you go to home, if you come back to explore template, you will see templates. That's where people use them a lot. They have too many templates. In fact, I'm going to teach you something that is a template on it already. So instead of trying to just draw from the scratch from Figma, Miro has templates you can use for all of this. For instance, you will see empathy mapping. If you come to just a minute. If you come to, is it idea and brainstorming now? I want to know where we have empathy mapping. Hold on, no. You can see there is 5 whys. There is template for 5 whys. At least there are things I'll mention in this training. This particular one, I'll mention crazy eight. There's template for it. I'll mention scamper. There's template for it. I mentioned pest analysis. There's template. There's even template for SWOT. So fishbone diagram, Ishikawa fishbone. You'll find templates for it. Concept map. You find templates. You see, there will not be end to tools in product management. Oh, yes. Thank you, Mr. Slim. It's user friendly. Okay, this is empathy map. Let me use that persona to you have it. Let me preview this and we can work with it for this. Let's use pre-filled. Now, for you who are just starting, use pre-filled so that it'll be easy for you to edit. If you go and start from scratch and you are confused, it's not my fault. Too. So use um, a pre-filled template so you can see. Now, you can see how much work was done here. Tell me about my role. You didn't want me. Don't worry. Just leave me alone. And you can also invite me. So can you see what they did? So you can carry different things. Now what they think and feel, they do it here. You can just come here, pick your sticky notes and drag it out there and write what you think. So what they think and feel is here. What they hear is here. What they say and do is here. What they see is here. Do you understand? Then their pain points. You can note them here. Their gain is here. If you have any other notes, is here. If you can feel this, you have done proper empathy mapping. I hope you understand now. It's not hard. It just makes your work more professional, when you say you use Miro. So, Abosede, go and use Miro to create an empathy mapping. You are going to first of all write this thing down in paper, okay? But use Miro to create it. I'll probably put that as one of your assignments. All of you use Miro to create an empathy. You are going to do that interview, maybe one or two people, and then use these tools because I want you to also learn tools. I'm not a tool junkie. I don't like people being tool junkies, but they are tools and you should know them. But don't make your life about tools. Like I said, Nigerians, we like education. I've learned it. Do you understand? We like to claim we know education. It's not about what you know, it's about what you're using what you know to do. And that's why you say you finish your PhD abroad and they will still tell you to go to, they will still not give you the job because the person you are trying to apply for already has 5 companies with college degree. So he's wondering why he should even hire you because you look like his boss in every way. So, like I said, I don't really preach tools because I don't want your product management to be about tools. Let it be about applications you have launched. When people say, are you a product manager? Don't be saying my role. No, I launched this. I launched, oh, sorry, I'm launching or I'm working on a parental clinical application that is currently in its ideation stage. You have not launched. So what have you done? I've talked to my users. Either you used interview, either you use Google form, empathy mapping, Miro, those are not the things that matter. What matters is what you have done with the tools. Okay. For instance, if you say I want a driver, you want to say, me, I can drive from the course outline is available. Talk to your admin for that, okay? I'm just a facilitator. I don't know too much about your administration, okay? So bring that up on the group. Thank you. So moving on, just like say somebody can drive, you are not trying to, and the person is not telling you, yeah, GM moves. No, you want to hire a driver. Can you drive me? Do you know Lagos Road? If there is hold up, do you know where to branch to? Okay, thank you. Moving on. Um, to the squad groups. Okay, admin, you can answer some of the questions they are asking. The last set of questions are admin related questions. Please, I want questions I'll be taking to be in line with this class. Okay, so that we can move on. We have just 19 minutes, and I hope to make the best of it. All right. Um, how to build an empathy map? I just showed you that now. That has gone around all of this. Okay. Define scope and goals. Okay. Know the persona you map. Before you do your interview, you'll have done all of these things. Gather materials, of course, that's your Miro. You can write them down first before you organize them in Miro. Collect research. You will have done, I taught you how to collect research earlier on. Individually add sticky notes for each quadrant. I've shown you how to add sticky notes. Is that okay? Please, if you don't know how to do it, let me know. These things are so easy to use. What I'm doing on this application is not to teach you these tools, but to remove your fear. Because I know what many of us have is even the fear to learn another new thing. But hey, Jesus, which one is Miro again? No, they're easy tools. They are not hard. I will even teach you some tools that are quite crazier, but they are not hard. If you can just follow gently, that's for your Friday class. They are not hard. You don't know how to use sticky notes. If you go to Miro, see, let me go. If you go open the app, don't see whenever you see, you need to understand how UI. That's why you have to learn UI UX. These things are sticky notes. Any application you have it, just click here, drag it, and put inside. And by the time you put inside, they will see, there is a rule. I've forgotten the rule now that speaks to the universality of icons, universality of icons and text. Miro is very user friendly. I'm sure if you can just open it now and try it, you can check your template. So universality of icons is that they use the same icons across different applications. So T for text. You see sticky notes. You will see sticky note always look like a box that now has a curved edge. That's all. Do you understand? Please, Miro is very user friendly. I'm going to give you an assignment on it so that you can use that to learn it. Everybody, is that okay? I'll do that. When I did my own program management, I didn't learn many tools, and I know that it didn't help me. So please, as much as I don't want you to be a tool junkie, don't be novices, okay? Learn these things. It will do you good. Thank you very much. Um, so we have talked about that. Now let's go to define. Let's start on define. The first step in define is what step in design thinking. Let me see if you're following me. We said design thinking is edict. We have done E, which is empathize. Another empathize, we've shown you how to do. Let me even run down so that you will remember. I don't want you to forget. In empathizing, we said you want to understand your user's pain points. And for that, we gave you interview tips. I gave you 10 of them. From there, I went to root cause analysis, how to get your 5 whys. From there, we went to how to do your empathy mapping. Listen to what they say, listen to what they think, what they do, what they feel, listen to their goals. And I said the tools to use to build an empathy mapping, use Miro. Don't waste time. Miro has templates for you. Good. We're on the second part of design thinking now. Is a process. It's called define. Define, I said that's how you narrow down the problem. If you download Miro on phone, how would you use it? These tools are for your laptop, okay? Define. Define phase is where all this information that you have collected, you are now distilling them to clear, actionable problem statements. Actionable problem statements. For instance, Users are unhappy with the interface. Users find it difficult to navigate through the onboarding process. Now, this is more when the product has been launched. Now, for your case, you are defining it. Parents want to manage their children better. That's a clear problem. So that means parent power will now become a parent, like personal home manager to parents. Because what they are looking for is technology solving the problem of management for them. Let me move on. Define. After getting insights by empathizing with users, you need to refine the problem from a user's perspective. You refine a problem from a user's perspective. So, how do you define the problem? Number one is called problem statement. Number two, user persona. Number three, customer journey. Let's go. So, what is a problem statement? We call it POV, point of view, that frames the problem in a way that is actionable. It provides a clear description of the issue. So, for instance, there are three approaches to framing problems, and we'll do that for this product. We said, that you can frame the problem from the user's perspective, from a research perspective, or on the four W's. Me, I like to work with the four W's. Okay? For instance, now, from the user perspective, you can say, I am a young mom trying to manage my children better. I work long hours and I don't get home early. This makes me feel frustrated and my students don't get enough sleep. My children don't get enough sleep. You are defining your problem from the user. So instead of calling your designers and showing them your interview questions, showing them your empathy mapping, trying to feel smart, no. All of those things you did under E will only come out as a simple statement, problem statement. But you will not arrive at a good problem statement if you don't do everything. So in your presentation, what you have is a single line that is a problem statement. Not You are not trying to show off to your team that if you see the interview I did, if you see my empathy mapping, you go and do my role screenshots to show. No, all of that is like, how do we call it? It's like cooking food. When you want to serve the food, let's say a plate of fried rice, you will not pack all your ingredients on the table. Say, see what I've done. See tomato, see maggi, see rice, see gas, see matches. No, you are coming out with one single plate of rice, which must have taken you 5 hours. Only God knows how before you fix that fried rice. Time you were cutting ingredients, frying, and all of that, you are not going to come to the table with all of that. So your entire slide is not going to have all of those things you did on E. You're only coming with one paragraph, but that came from solid research. The person may have eaten a plate of rice, or maybe one egg roll, or probably one meat pie. In fact, people have eaten one egg roll that's easy to throw inside back pocket. But somebody reared chicken for years. The chicken laid eggs. You went to pick up the egg before you boiled the egg. Before you went into, some people planted, before you harvested, and then it now became flour. For the process to flour, you bought the flour, bought other things. You understand? There's a lot of process before you have one egg roll. But it doesn't mean egg roll was cheap to do. In fact, if we look at the values that went into producing an egg roll, maybe it should be very expensive. So the same thing about problem framing. But all you have been doing under E was just so you can write this simple paragraph. You can also write from the user research perspective, which is from your own, which is a product manager now. Busy working professionals need easy time and efficient time to manage their families. That's for you. But now, let's look at the four W's. Okay, that works for me. We want to know who, what, where, and why. So, young professionals struggle to get home early. That's the issue. Young professionals struggle to manage their family. Our solution, which is the what, we deliver a quick and easy way for them to manage their families so that they can focus on work while the home is doing better. So your problem statement should be able to answer who you are solving it for, what you are solving, where you are solving it, and why you are solving it. There's a question they will ask you, they will ask in management. There's a question they will ask you if you are running companies, yeah? Or if you are talking to an investor, they will ask you, why are you solving this problem? Number one. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, you think that is easy. You talk about the problem, they will now ask you another one. Why are you the one to solve this problem? Fine, this problem is valid, but why are why are you qualified to solve this? Why should you be the one solving this problem? You must be able to answer that. Then the last one is why now? Why? What if we solve this problem 3 years from now? Good. So frame your problem statement. Then we talk about user need statement. This is a combined statement following the pattern a user needs in order to accomplish a goal. So you can write it as a user need statement. Your user, their need, and the goal. So quickly, I need a user need statement for parent power. Quickly, I'm in the comment section looking at you. A user need statement for parent power. Hey, wait, I can't see responses yet. Write a statement for this parent power. Let the statement shows the user, their need, and their goal. For instance, I'm building, okay, let's say for instance, you're saying, let's pick a name. Okay, I'm a young professional. Okay, you are writing from the user end now. Write from the product manager. I'm a young professional who needs the help managing my children so that they can be well behaved. I need a user-friendly app that will help me stay connected with my children even when I'm not available. I must say it is very good. Now write it as a product manager now, not as so write, for example, like write as a third person. So pick a name, maybe um, somebody needs maybe Adiola needs a user-friendly application that will help us stay connected with our children. What you are building, wow, this is deep. What you are building is connection. You want to connect parents to their children 24/7, even while they are away. So I thought of something now. You must somebody is already a senior. Okay, good. As a senior manager mother of three, good. Either a senior manager mother of three needs an application to help her monitor her kids' devices so that she can focus on work. This is very good, but I want us to define it the way I was already defining it. Something is deep here. So let's say Ada, a senior manager, mother of three, needs help to stay connected with her children when she's not available. So what you are trying to build before now, what we have been thinking of is an application for control, notification, shutdown, an application for policing your children. That's what we have been thinking of. And maybe that's why God did not give us that idea. Maybe that's why I gave Abosede. But what Abosede is thinking is something that can connect them. Because in connection, you can now influence. Do you understand? So, in connection, of course, we still have some features that have to do with control, but to no longer be about control anymore. Okay? It will no longer be about control, but about compliance. You can just watch the video again. If the class is live, is on YouTube, you can watch again. Okay? No, no, you have used a different and your Ambassador Kemar, what you have mentioned is a different app entirely. It's valid. It's valid. If that, but it's a different app entirely. Now let's move on. To create from there, you go to creating user personas. I've taught you user persona before, so I will not waste time on it. Okay, I will not waste time on it. I taught you that under marketing. Um, Let me ask this question first before we go on. Are you there? So look at this question, everybody. I want answers quickly. I want answers to this question. Now, why I'm asking, I put this question here because these are the kind of things I want your mind to be thinking, not just application. I'm listening. Hmm. I'm listening. I'm not seeing answers to this question though. Okay, I'm listening. I'm checking. You are a new product manager at Meta. Facebook Market is launching a job feature where recruiters and job seekers can interact just as on LinkedIn. How will you go about adding that feature to the current Facebook environment? Don't bother. Don't get it. Oh. Don't bother. Oh. This is different. They have determined you are not doing any research anymore. They have determined. I will get users to fill out a section on their profile that says open to employment, employed or not open to work. Okay, but you already have data now. I told you something in the first class. It's not every data you need to do research for. You already have data, some existing data. Good, you have a marketplace that shows and people are using it. Also, do you know how many? You just need to look for data. How many people are posting about jobs on Facebook? So you don't have issues. I think it's a good feature. Now, let's not waste much time on it. But what I want you to know is that this is what your thinking is as a product manager. When you get a job, these are the kind of problems you want to solve. Now, if you like, use Miro, use Google Form, use Typeform. Nobody freaking cares. These are the kind of problems they face you. You heard when my friend, my colleague taught you, BC. You heard when Bamila taught you about product launch. I mean, when BC taught you about product launch, you're trying to get to the market. What are you going to tell people you have built and all of that? Bamila was telling you about PRD and was telling you because these are things you need to tell your developers. So you can see that there's a lot of work. Now, don't forget that Facebook does not have employment data. The data Facebook has, but our class is at the end. That's why I want to use this to end the class. So let me just wrap up in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. The data Facebook has only to do with your name and all of that. So you need to collect new data as regards employment. So it's like you want to bring LinkedIn to Facebook. So the question you would ask is, do you want it to be a new feature that you pack in or a different feature? So I want all of you to go and read on this. We'll start from there tomorrow, okay? I would like to have more solid feedback tomorrow. I will do my research as well, and we'll have a good time. Thank you guys for being with us today. We have come to the end for today. We'll pick it up from here tomorrow. Again, it's a privilege to have you in the class, and I appreciate everyone. Have a good night.